In this video, I'm going to be teaching you about how you can use some utils when it comes to Linux beyond just the core utils that ship with GNU Linux. So I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I typically just like to use the standard utils that are built in with GNU Linux, but sometimes some of these save a lot of time. And after much resistance, I've adopted 3, which I'm going to show you in this video, which I believe are worth your time. Now, I might do another follow-up with some more of these utils if you find them interesting. And if there's any util that you use in your command line work that I haven't covered, let me know in the comments and we'll see if it's worth doing an additional video on. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so the first one that I want to show you is called Zoxide. Now, so as you can see here, I'm in a relatively deep directory and I might want to go and change something in one of my configurations. Specifically, I might want to go and change my ZSH configuration. So the way that I would do that, ordinarily, I would have to go and say, go to my config and then go to my ZSH. Now I'm in here and I can go into my editor. I'm just going to use NeoVim. If you're not using NeoVim, go and check out my tutorial on NeoVim because with the latest update, it's now incredibly powerful out of the box. And I think it's like the best time to get into NeoVim. But now we just demonstrated that in here we used the cd, the change directory command, right? And that's one of the original utils that came with GNU Linux. So it's important that you understand the cd command. It's probably one of the first commands that you're going to learn about, but it can be a little bit clumsy. Now, I pushed back on Zoxide for a long time because I felt like so familiar. I know, for example, if you want to go back to the directory that you were just in, there's handy things like you can say cd and dash, and you can go back to where you just were. And you can, of course, go to your home directory. Okay, you can go to your roots, whatever. But with Zoxide, you can simply say Z, as we would say in Australia. And now what I can do is I can just type in the ZSH. So if I go and I print my working directory, we can see I'm right at the root of my system. So if I wanted to get there using cd, as I demonstrated before, it's time consuming. I have to put the full path in there from home.config.zsh. But if I've been there before with Zoxide, what I can actually do is just say zsh, okay? And what it's going to do is it's now going to just take me there. If I have another one, say nvim, my nvim config, then I can just say nvim, and so it's super quick. It builds on cd, change directory, but it's much quicker. Okay, and one last thing that I want to touch on when it comes to Zoxide is that when you initiate it, and the way that we do that is if I go to ZSH and I'm going to go into my .zshrc, okay, the way that we initialize Zoxide is that we just call this command eval and then Zoxide init zsh. And of course, if you're using bash or some other shell, you can just use the command that is suitable to initialize it within that shell. But if you've initialized it, it comes with 2 commands, all right? So one of those commands is Z that I've already demonstrated, but the other one is ZI. So let's say we want to have a look at the interactive results, right? That means that I've got a .local directory and that's in my home, and I've also got the universal system resources local. So in here you can imagine if you've got a bunch of results, if you type in something and you're expecting a bunch of results, because the way that Zoxide works is it periodically, it has a default, but you can change the default, but it periodically looks at the frequency or frequency of how often you're going to certain directories, and then it'll give you the best hit if you just use Z. Or if you want to use interactive, as you can see here, it's suggesting they're actually equal. But let's say I go to local, and then if I do this again, local, okay, we can see that my .local directory has a higher number there, so it's getting precedence over the universal system resources local directory. So that's Zoxide. It cuts down your usage when it comes to change directory, the cd command, tremendously. Okay, the next one that I want to demonstrate is called EZA, and it is a replacement utility for the ls command. Now I'm just going to go and use bash now just to demonstrate. I don't have bash configured because, like I mentioned, I use ZSH, but in here I just want to demonstrate. So I'm in this directory, it is ZSH, and if I wanted to, I can use the ls and it shows me very basic list. Of course, we can always pass commands, like we can say list all, make it human readable. It gets a little bit better. But if I wanted to go and demonstrate in the case of Ezza, what it does is it provides icons, and you can actually do cool things with it. For example, what you can do is you can say, first I'll just list something out, okay? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my ZSHRC, or rather my alias RC in here, and I'm going to get these. So basically what I'm saying is I'm aliasing the ls command and ll, so that just has this hidden and also include git, and then finally la, that's everything, hidden, list, and git. Okay, and so what I'm going to do, okay, and so I have set the alias for the Ezza command. So when I say ls or ll or la, it actually under the hood is invoking the Ezza utility, which is already installed on the system. Of course, I'm going to link all of these utilities in the description for the video. So if you want to go and install them, just go down there, click on the GitHub link, and it will have the instructions to install them on your system. So now what I just want to do, we had a look a moment ago with bash, and so I'm going to just demonstrate what it looks like now. If I'm in my ZSH configuration directory and I say ls, we can now see that we get nice colors and we also get icons. Now, back in the day, we could also achieve this with passing flags to our ls command, but as it does a lot of that hard work for us, it's way more maintainable. And what we can do now, let's say I say ll, that's going to list everything. It's all nice headers, it's colorized, and it has the icons as well that we just saw above. So that is Ezza. Okay, and so the next one that I want to show you is called bat, and so it replaces cat. Okay, so if you're familiar with cat, then if I go back to bash once again just to demonstrate, I can have a look. Let's say if I go to my home directory and I'm going to cat a readme, which I just have a readme for my dot files. It reminds me how to use my dot files. Okay, but there's no formatting. It doesn't look very nice. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to go and cd, I'll go home, and I'm going to use cat, or rather let's invoke bat, although I have set the alias, so it's already set, but just to be clear, I'm going to invoke bat. And now I'm going to invoke it on the README, and as you can see, you can now navigate up and down using J and K. We've got line numbers, and we've got color, and so it's overall much better in terms of the experience. But it doesn't end there. Okay, the last thing that I want to show you when it comes to bat is we should always use the man files, right? Let's say if we want to have a look at the man files for example, these new utilities that we're learning about. We're not all vibe coders here, so we're not that familiar with the flags and the different kind of command options that we have. So we might want to look at the manual. Now, when we look at the manual ordinarily, say I look at it for bat itself, it's going to be pretty ordinary. Back in the day, what I used to do is I used to pass a bunch of flags, and these flags would colorize it and that kind of thing. But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to use bat, and so I'm going to quit out of this. I'm going to go to my .zshrc file, and specifically I'm going to uncomment this man pager. Simple command, it just passes this -l and then man-p. All right, so if we exit, we've got to write that file. I'm going to resource my .zshrc. Okay, and now what it's doing is when we go to our manual for bat, it's going to be nice and colorized, right? And it's looking a lot more readable and beautiful. Okay, so like I mentioned, I wanted to show you in this video some cool free command line tools which build upon the original utils of GNU Linux and the GNU project specifically. These are even more powerful than the defaults that come shipped with your system. They're very lightweight, easy to install, and frankly, I believe it's better that you know how to use all of the standard utils, but these three are excellent and I would certainly recommend that you install them. I did begrudgingly after I stuck with CD for a long time, and I think BAT is great, and overall they're really, really nice utils. Okay, thanks very much for watching. A couple last things. I recently created a Telegram group chat, so if you want to join in that and create a bit of a community, share ideas about tech, use tech, politics, economics, all that kind of thing that is on the channel, then you can feel free to just join in there. No pressure, of course. I've had a few people reaching out to me on a personal level. I can't always get back to everyone because, of course, I have to work and everything. But if you want, you can join the channel, help each other out. I'll answer when I can. And I really appreciate all of the comments and all of the feedback. I like making these videos for you. I hope that you find them interesting. So please do let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.